and we're going to learn together with our CEO, our founder and CEO. So the forensic networker, the last word in direct sale mastery, because we have top of the edge technology and training that will help every business partner to advance. And it's very important to, take notes and have an underlying step to learn and to be able to put in practice what we learn. It's very important to take all the advantage. Thank you, Zara. Yes, I'm trying my best here to deliver a great hosting to you all. You guys are deserving. You deserve the best, and we do our best to deliver the best. Yes, so our CEO, I'm going to go a little bit on the background. Mr. Ramin Mescalou is the founder and creator of Forensic Networker, and is rated as one of the world's top master trainer and mentor to thousands. Is the ultimate focus and target of the Forensic Networker is to, as you all know, get us to the promised land. So it helps people scale from 9-to-5 job tyranny. So it helps us escape from those tyranny, the 9-to-5 job, which kind of enslave us to this circle. And the forensic is a solid foundation that's absolutely necessary to succeed in direct sales. So if you want to succeed in this industry, this is a call for you. However, as Ramin so emphatically point out, the Forensic Network program is not for the lighthearted some-timer. It's not like your status quote MLM 101 course. The forensic is the industry first serious business plan for those who are looking forward to succeed within 18 to 24 months. So when you start the get-go, this is the best way to launch your business. So our CEO built 4 multi-million-dollar network marketing company as a master distributor, becoming a self-made millionaire at the age of 25 before founding Opulence Global. So we are very glad to have Mr. Ramin as our founder and CEO. And Opulence Global is a visionary. He has an Opulence philosophy. He's one of the top trainer, and he has built many and helped many entrepreneurs become millionaire. And this call is dedicated for people who want to take their business to the next level. Hello, Awino from Kenya, 4 a.m. Wow, great efforts. Yes, you are the best. Yes, hello. Okay, I think we have our wonderful CEO on the call, and I'm going to have him launch the call for us. Okay, hello everybody. Get ready, get your pencil ready, get your mind open, because we are going to learn. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon to everyone. All right, so I like it. You start right on time, which is great. I want to congratulate you for, again, doing this. This is wonderful. Wonderful. All right, so let's get started, team. Let's start with this morning. This morning, I had a forensic call. And it wasn't for Oakland's people. It was, as you know, we have about 84 companies that are forensic for years and years and years. And this was our students in Iran. And guess how many lines was on? Well, the internet is weak. So it would fluctuate within 100, but it would go anywhere from 1,952 lines to 2,058 lines. That was the range. I have to tell you, every time I do one for Iran, by the way, a lot of these lines, the camera was wrong. You could see that they were husband and wife, couples, 2-3 people, some gatherings. So we probably had well over 3,000 people on this call. And I'm just always so surprised, and I always so feel, wow, that's what good leadership is, where, you know, if there is a call, especially an important call, nobody misses it. Nobody misses it. 3,000 people with almost 2,100 lines. It's insane. And we need to do that here. We need to do that with your team. We're going to talk about that tonight. Another thing we're going to talk about tonight is the income roadmap success, because it is, as I said, the numbers are better than what the system is showing. So we're going to get to that next. So why do we need people to get on the call? Well, because when people get on training, first of all, let's establish one thing. If you're part-time, you need about 15 to 20 hours a week anyways, right? 15 to 20 hours a week, that's part-time. If you're part-time serious, you're doing about 25 to 30 hours a week, right? And if you're full-time, it's 40 plus hours a week, just like everything else, just like every other job. So if you're 15 to 20 hours a week, you know, you got to get on, I guess we have 4 calls a week corporately, and that's about 4 hours, 5 hours. And that leaves about 10 hours to go to meetings, to go do tours, talk to your downline, do your own training. So you have enough time to do that. So some of you guys never miss, which is great. But clearly, the message is not getting to levels that are deep. So I want to talk to you today, and I'm going to convince you that if your people that you sponsor not this call, it is eating your lunch, it's eating your commission, it is pulling you back, holding you back, and it's a pity because the hard work was already done, which means somebody did put a list, somebody did the prospecting, somebody booked a tour, and somebody did the close, and the person is in. And that's where we stopped. We didn't take it further. Remember, post-tour, post-join is where the work starts. Everybody can buy something, to buy a package. That's not the hard part. Our money, yeah, sure, there's some juicy holes of profit there. But that's not why we get into MLM, for juicy holes of profit. We get into MLM for residual income, lifelong residual income. That's what we get. So when your people don't come, to these meetings, if it was me, I would be angry, I would be upset, not just for me, but for them, because they got in and they're not being trained, they're not training themselves, they're not giving themselves a chance. The whole idea of MLM is that you bring people and that duplicate, and they duplicate and duplicate, and that's how you make a lot of money. Duplication will only happen post-join. Post-join. After the launch is when duplication starts. And that duplication can only happen if people are constantly attached, gaining information, getting support on three-way calls. And when they sponsor people, they can't be the support at that time. They need to connect their people to an existing platform, which is us, which is the calls that we got going on, plus the three-way call with the upline. And when that duplicates, that's how you got 2,058 peak lines on the call. Because much like how I used to do when I was on the field, no one was allowed to miss a call. That was the culture. No one was allowed to miss a call. They wanted to miss it, they missed it, and we didn't care for that, at that moment for them anymore. Because at the end of the day, we want to help work with people who are really hungry, who really want it. We wanted to create success stories, and we did. We created 17 millionaires. At the end of the day, we want to make sure to keep our time for people who were serious. But we have to tell people, give them an opportunity, and that starts with the sponsor. The culture starts with the sponsor. You got to be tough on your distributors, on your new recruits. You got to tell them they got to put in 15, 20 hours a week. If they want to touch the comp plan and taste the comp plan, they have to follow the system. So when you take a look at MLM in general, including our company, some people will come and they make a lot of money. Some people don't. Some people don't make anything. What's the difference? It's the same comp plan, it's the same product line, it's the same opportunity. What's the difference? Well, some take this very seriously. It's the #1 priority. Some, it's there. And some, they joined something. They joined, they didn't start a business, they joined something. It's a business, folks. If you bought a McDonald's franchise, they'll take $2 million from you. And then you better follow the rules, because if you don't follow the rules, they take away the franchise. That's why McDonald's is a very successful franchise. We need to treat our business the same way. We want people to be successful. Remember, how they are brought them to where they are. They wanted to change. That's why they joined, because they launched their own business because they want to change from that. And we need to, as upline, it's our responsibility to treat them like they're our family. And just like if you had a son or a brother or whoever, and they were doing something wrong, we'll tell them. If they do it again, we'll tell them again. Do it again, we'll tell them again, we say it loudly. Because we don't want them to do something wrong that's not going to be best for them. Your people need to be on this call. And if you care for your people the way I do, you would be talking the same way. When I was on the field, I sponsored people. Here's what I said to them. Once they launched the business, it was $2,200 back then, and that was 30 years ago. That was a lot of money back then, $2,200. It's double the money you guys are doing today, and was back then. I said, look, if you're serious, I'm here to work with you. You put in 25, I put 25, you put 50%, I put 50%, you put 100%, I put 200%. You stop, I stop. And people didn't want to lose that. No, I'll do whatever. And most did. And we had a very good success ratio, very good success ratio. We want everybody to be on the training calls, everybody. And it's not enough, oh, I told them it's on. No, it's like prospecting, right? When you prospect, you have to follow up, right? You follow up. Once you do a tour, you do a follow-up. How long do you follow up for? It's infinite follow-up. Well, how long is infinite? Forever. Should I tell you, yes, I'm interested, or no, I'm not interested? If you don't get that answer, you keep on following up. As a matter of fact, the stats haven't changed. I heard this week the stat about how many times does it take to follow up on a prospect before you get results. In my days, 30 years ago, we said minimum 7 times. And I heard this week, the numbers haven't changed. They said, well, we've got at least 6 times, they said. At least 6 times. This is the latest stat. So, no, the way they put it was, the people who will follow up at least 6 times, you have, what was it? 80% more chance of getting results than people who don't, or something like that. So we got to follow up over and over again. So we follow up on the prospects. Well, we got to follow up on our partners, our distributors, a team. Why weren't you on? Well, you know, I was busy. Are you serious about making money or not? Didn't you say you need the money to send your kids to the Harvard? Didn't you say you need money to upgrade your car? Didn't you say you need money to retire your parents? Didn't you? Well, is it any way you're going to do that? Okay, so get on the call, right? Text them in the morning. Don't miss the call. You know what? The first time they miss it and you follow up, next time they won't miss it because they know you're going to follow up. Do you want an organization that is vibrant and moving, or you want an organization that's stagnant and not going anywhere? You have to decide that. I've always been a mover, always, 33 years, always. And that's the type of team I always wanted. I've always made a lot of money. But I always have some people make a lot of money too because they're where I am. But everybody in my organization did more than they would have because the way I was. They may have not gone all the way the way we were, but because of how we were, they did a lot more, twice more, 3 times more than they would have done. And the few that didn't do anything, at least they know, because they heard it so many times, they wouldn't come back and say, well, this didn't work. They'll say, you know what? I was lazy, it didn't work. You know, I didn't want to do the work. They know that they were the problem. And that protects the industry reputation. You don't want people not to do anything and go say, well, I tried MLM, didn't work. Because that stuff happens a lot, right? So we need to be on this call, on Monday night call, on Saturday call. Remember, if you're part-time, 15 to 20 hours, that's your mandate, right? That's your schedule. And so all these accounts are priced in. All these calls are priced in. You need to be on it. And when you're on it, of course, you expect your people to be on it. Don't just come on and don't bring your people with you. Again, remember, we want to earn residual income. How you do that is by creating very high percentage of what's called retention. Retention. That's when people stay in the business. And the only reason why you get retention is because they're engaged. If they're not engaged, all of a sudden the business expense becomes a fee because they're not doing anything. So they can't, it's not business expense for them anymore, it becomes a fee. Well, I don't want to pay a fee because they're not active, they're not engaged. I don't want that. When I was on the field, I didn't want to be on a treadmill, do all the hard work and get them in, and all of a sudden they get consumed by life because that's what they're used to. No, I was there to interrupt their pattern, have them to shift from where they were to where they need to go. And I took that responsibility. And I made a lot of millions doing that as a distributor. So we always had a very high power team because of the way I was. So it's not a culture, that's not a choice to be on these calls. You gotta be on these calls. If you're serious, you're not serious, enjoy your products. But if you're serious about making money, you gotta be on these calls, all of them. So there's only 4 calls we have, it's only for 5 hours. Then you have other calls that maybe you want to reach your upline, reach your downline. Of course, there's some tours you gotta do. Total, it becomes about 15 hours or so, 12, 15 hours. I would say, if you're a good part-timer, it should be about 20 hours a week. It's a good part-time number. When you start thinking that way, all of a sudden you're going to have, by the way, the call I did today was not for a company, it was for one team of a company. One team was a leader in one company. He said, because I know him, he's very active and he's followed me for years. I know I got at least 4,000 to 5,000 of my followers on my Instagram on Forensic Iranian One is all his team. So when he asked me to do a call for him, of course, I took the time, I did it, and there you go. well over 2,000 lines, probably about 3,000 people were on today. He's making a fortune. Any wrong with all the restrictions and everything that happens over there, all the sanctions and everything? He has a BMW, he has a Mercedes, he's making a fortune, but because, again, he's a great leader. And the culture is you just don't miss any events. And if you care about your people, you make sure they don't miss any events. When they miss the first one, you follow up. Miss the second one, you follow up. They won't miss the third one. They know you're going to follow up. Remind them of why they got into the business. That's another topic, is that when you launch people, you need to get a lot of information from them if you want them to last. You want to know exactly why they got in. What was the targets? What was it that they were looking for? And when they're faltering, and we all do, I've done it, we all do. When their fault is, hey, didn't you say you wanted to tell your parents? Yeah. Well, did you find out we're doing that? Because you're not at the calls. Oh, no. Yeah, I got busy. Okay, I want you to be successful. Remember the part-time, it's about 15 to 20 hours. Like, how many hours did you put in this week? Well, I'm talking to people, but that's not the question. Because that doesn't count. Having socialized, that doesn't count. Basically, you got to follow 5 hours a week on these calls. And you got about 10 hours to put into prospecting, with spending time with your offline, 3-way calls, and your downline. How many hours did you put in? No, not that. There you go. Make it very, very, very clear to them that it's a business and you want them to be successful. This stuff is not hard. In my days, to get on the call, this is pre-internet, to get on the call, you had to use data. And in those days, they didn't have nobody used 1-800 lines. So we had to pay long distance. Every time we did a conference call, it cost us $20. $20 every time. I've done calls overseas to India or different parts. It would call me $40, $50 for a phone call. That's how we got here. Today it's free and it's on your smartphone. So we got to shape up. We got to practice calls and make sure our people are on it. You all have a responsibility to contribute towards it. And you have a responsibility for your people. Your people invested looking for direction from you. People invested because they believed in you. People invested because they were looking for direction. They were looking for guidance. They're looking for a coach. They're looking for a leader. Become one. Be one. Be one. So what happens when people get on a call versus not getting on the calls? Well, people who are engaged, we get higher retention. They stay in the business longer. They become more active. They buy more products. They sell more products. They recruit more people. They renew their membership. And based on Metcalfe law, that's not all. You take everything that they're doing and you do it square to the power of 2. That's Metcalfe law. That's how you figure out the value of your team members. It's not how much money they bring in. Let's assume they did the bare minimum, the 150. The value of that active member is not 150, is 150 times 150. That's the value based on Metcalfe law. This is how big business is evaluated. Facebooks and Twitters, Teslas of the world. And we're in a business. So when you start to think about that, I said, damn, this person get off smart buy, they probably got off because they're not engaged, right? So all of a sudden you need to get them engaged, get them back on, and understand every single person in your organization, the value is whatever they bring in to the power of 2, not times 2, to the power of 2. If somebody brings in $100 a month, that's $100 times $100. That's 10,000. That one individual is worth $10,000 to your organization. If somebody brings in $1,500 because they've been sponsored in LA and they did their smart buy, the value is 1,500 times 1,500. Okay, you don't have to understand Metcalfe law. I'm just giving you how you go from a part-time home-based business to a multi-million-dollar full-time rich network marketer. I'm just showing you how to go from an amateur to be a pro. So the pros, like we all know, every single phone call can lead into $1 million worth of business. Everybody we have start with a phone call, right? You're in the business because of a phone call. So we know the power of a phone call. We know the power of training. We know what happens when people don't get on calls. You know what happens? They stop their smart buy, stop ordering. They stop renewing the membership. How much money did you lose? If somebody just does the $150 a month, that's $1,800 a year, and they don't renew, you didn't lose $1,800. You lose 1,800 times 1,800. That's Metcalfe law. That's why some network marketers make tens of millions of dollars. Understand these things. So you have a responsibility for your team. If they're not on this call, they should hear from you. Why weren't you on the call? Didn't you say that you want to send your kids? Didn't you say, walk with your car? Didn't you say, you just, and next thing you know, people will start make correction. And we make correction, and that duplicates. Next thing you know, you've got completely different team than the one you had. But before, nobody knew what was going on. You didn't know what was going on with your team. You kind of got to check here and there. To every hour of the day, you know who's doing what, who's ordering what. You're on a call 3 ways. LA, tour, system 3, get you one. The difference between a vibrant, rocking team like that, than a team that, they're there, right? I'll see what happens when my check comes in on Tuesday, is exactly from day one. When you launch them, you get them on these calls. The very first thing you want to do after they're launched, you meet with them. We do a business planning session, right? Today, we were revamping everything, as I was telling you. Danny and I, we spent a lot of time on this. So we have a beautiful system now, and I'm looking forward to it. I am adamant that we're going to have the most proficient network marketers, brand partners, distributors in the world. We had it when we started back in 2005, and everybody knew it. By 2009, everybody knew the Opulence people, the most educated. They were tough to recruit. They knew so much about Complan because I used to do a lot of trainings with them. So along the way, got bigger and bigger. But guess what? I am adamant to go back to that. And by the way, those days, nobody missed a call. Nobody missed a call. We want people to be responsible for their people. It would bother me if I sponsored 25, 30, 50 people, and on a Tuesday night, on a Monday night, I don't have 50 people. I don't have the 50 people on. It would bother me. I would expect 50 people to be there. All of them. If they weren't, they would get a phone call. Why weren't you on? I sponsored you personally. Didn't we say that 25, 25, 50, 50, 100, 200? Remember that conversation? Yeah. See, that's how you keep people vibrant. Remember, they got in for a reason. They got in because they thought, okay, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And it can get me out of the situation, especially after what happened in the pandemic. But they have bad habits, or they don't know, or both. Whose job is it? Whose responsibility is it to change that pattern? Who? The upline. Yours. Yours. You get paid on their effort. Of course, it's your responsibility. Of course it is. But take responsibility. Well, obviously there's a huge self-serving reason there. Huge, because you keep your CVs active, you keep your people active, you keep them in, you're gonna get rich. There is a self-serving reason why you should do that. You're gonna get rich. Jim Rohn says, being an upline is a very noble job. It's like being a father. It's like being a mother. Being an upline is a very noble job. And he goes on to say, and it pays big. It pays big. But you got to be an upline. And it doesn't matter if you brought them into business or not. You look in your organization on both legs. Remember, how do you get paid? On both teams, both legs, right? On all sales to how long? To infinity. Both teams on all sales to infinity. So every single week, you look at both legs, you look at all the sales that come in, they get a thank you letter from you, a thank you card from you, a thank you phone call, a message from you. By the way, I don't remember seeing on the call on Monday. Oh, wait, well, get on, get on. That's your 12, 15, 20 hours a week. And here's what happens too, by the way. When you guys are active, actually putting in hours, you're so much more motivated. You are so much more motivated. You're not rusty. You're not discouraged. You're making things happen. There's so many benefits that come out of that because you're feeling better. You're feeling amazing. You're greased up. You're going at level 10. Of course, that duplicates your people. You're keeping people in, more engaged, better retention, better activity. That's why you got into MLM. If you didn't want MLM business, then you could have, I suppose, got into some type of direct sales and wholesale business and buy and sell. But no, you got into an MLM business because you know what, I want to retire someday as a rich person. And the only way you're going to get rich in this business is when you get people in and active and make sure they make money and you care for them and you call them, you support them. That's the only way you get rich. It's not complicated. When they don't order, you don't get rich. When they don't renew, you don't get rich. And the order and renewals come on the next day call, and the following day, and the following day, and the following day. It doesn't have to be a call. So it could be a message, could be linking something to them, tagging them on something you're doing. You're in business. So being on doing that call today, it reminded me of how I used to build it. We used to do calls. You know, we used to do calls, and sometimes it was an emergency call, and it happened a lot actually. Our upline would give us 20 minutes to get everybody on. And 20 minutes. So I would call my first generation, and we had trained everybody. They called their first generation. And within 20 minutes, we have 250 to 500 people on. In 20 minutes, no notice. That's what we did. So you guys have 7 days to get your people to get trained. Remember, they got in, they got to get trained. Make sure you don't miss anybody. They don't miss anybody. All right. So we understand the benefits of being trained. We understand that it's our responsibility. That, look, not everyone's going to follow you, and we can't force them. But when they see how serious you are, most people get serious. But if you're silent, then they assume they're doing the right thing. You can't be silent. That's like I said, like family. When one of the family members' kids want to do something wrong, we tell them to correct it. You have to treat your distributors that way. You tell them the correction. It's up to them to do that, but it's your job to tell them, right? Do your job. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is an income roadmap. Income roadmap. I've told you guys that the system is with the way since we launched it, we said, because this is scientific, this is not a new thing. I've done this for about 20 some odd years. And the original chapter is called Pathway to 5 Figures, been on for 23 years, right? So we did another section to it. We call it Fast Track to 5 Figures. So it's the same system, except it's faster, and then we'll release that. And that basically was do 3 tours a week and convert 1 into an LA. 3 tours, convert 1. 3 tours, convert 1. And I said that in Bangkok, and I said that in Philippines, in Manila, and I said everywhere, that 3 gets you 1 is a low ball estimate. That people will do much better than that. Maybe some people thought, I don't know if that's possible. Or maybe somebody thought maybe that's ambitious, but guess what? We're getting the results coming in from everywhere. Everywhere. People who are actually doing it, the fast track, income pathway, they're saying they're more than 33%. We hear things like 2 for 2, 1 for 3, 2 for 3, 1 for 2. So if somebody doesn't get 4 in a month, it's not because they don't have the percentage. It's because they just don't do enough tours. They didn't get the 12 in. They didn't get the 12 in. They still got 2 LAs. They didn't get the 12 in. They still got 3 LAs. So the numbers are actually higher than what the system shows. And there's a lot of them. Because we know once you use the system, you use the PowerPoint, you lose the tour, you use this income pathway as your closer. We know Opulence looks amazing. Income pathway shows them how to make $1,200 next 30 days. Not too many people can say no to that who can afford it at that moment. And the afford it doesn't mean they have the money. That means they can borrow the money. They can use a card. They can get from somewhere, right? Use your whatever money. So the people who have access, they get on because a company looks good and you show them a path to go get $1,200 next 30 days. So if you're not on this, get on it. If your people are not on it, the conversation with your team is so simple now. You call them up. Did you do 3 tours this week? Did you convert one of them into an LA? There was the conversation to have with everybody. Now you have a culture. Everybody wants to start. Everybody starts to think to themselves, because the thing about the income roadmap is, one of the discussions that we had on that call today, one question that came to me was, how do you handle when people say, I don't like being rejected, or I'm afraid to call, or I'm demotivated, or stuff like that. And the way I answer that question is simple. This is a math game. This is mathematics. This has nothing to do with emotions. It has nothing to do with emotions. It's a math game. Nike says, just do it. Nike doesn't say, do it if you feel good. Doesn't say, do it if you're motivated. It doesn't. When you get up to go to your job in the morning, are you really motivated? You say, oh, yes, going to my job. No, you don't. Motivation has nothing to do with your job. When you feel good or not, you get up, you go to your job. When you're motivated or not, you get up, you go to your job. So why all of a sudden we attach emotions to this job? There's no emotions involved. Doesn't matter if you feel good about it. 3 tours, let's go. 3 tours. Because you told your parents you're going to retire them. Because you want to send your kids to Harvard. Because you want to upgrade that house. 3 tours. It doesn't matter if you're motivated. You want to upgrade that car. You want to go on vacation. You need the fancy stuff. You want to save starving children like we do. Whatever it is your reason. What does emotions have anything to do? That's why I love the income roadmap. That's why I like the pathway to 5 figures. It's simply numbers. That's all it is. It's numbers. We did 3 tours a week. That's it. And how you do the tours is many ways of doing the tour. You can get the PowerPoint and do it yourself in the back office. It's easy to do. You can find a video, get it done that way. You can get on the live tours that goes on all over the world, different time zones, different languages. You can get your upline involved to do it for you. So there's a lot of ways to get your tour out. You got 7 days to get 3 out. It's a half an hour tour. Are you kidding me? You got 7 days to spend an hour and a half on PR. It's just numbers. It's a math game. This has nothing to do with how you feel. Get your job done the same way you get up in the morning, go to your job. Right? Once you start, that's why you need to get the income roadmap. That's why you need a pathway. You need a chart. Because when you do a chart, when you get the MO box, all of a sudden, your emotions takes a back seat. It doesn't really matter because you know that box has got names in it and you have to pick up the phone and you need to call and you need to book some people so you can get 3 tours out, so you can convert 1 into an LA. It's a math game now. It's a system. It has nothing to do, and people get really motivated when they say, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, get the box, a bunch of names every day, go, make some calls, book some appointments. Get 3 tours, convert 1. It's a plan. It's math. So it's important, team, when a company puts something out, immediately next to the next 24 hours and master it. Become the master of whatever the company just put out. You should be the master of every aspect of your business. Every aspect of your business. And as our company moves forward, we're going to have a bunch of great stuff only for people who are masters at this. We have a QT program now. The very first thing the QT people will get, or Q people will get, qualified presenters, qualified trainers, is that they're going to get paid for doing presentations and doing trainings. So for most of them, the monthly 150 is already paid for. We're going to extend it beyond that. That's why we're going to turn amateurs into pros. It's time for you to take your serious more seriously than your job. Your job should be your plan B. Your MLM business should be your plan A. Why? Because your job is low energy. It's not volatile, there's no volatility. It's, you know, in the hospital when your heartbeat goes like this, it's volatile, right? That's no volatility. What happens when your heart monitor goes, but that's your job. There's no volatility to it. It doesn't go anywhere. It's low energy. It's going to keep you where you are and worse because the inflation is always higher than your raise. What type of first plan A is that? But every year you get poorer and poorer and poorer because inflation is higher than your raise. What type of plan A is that? How is that going to work out? How's it working out right now compared to 5 years ago? How's that going to work out in 5 years from now? Inflation is all-time high. It's going to go off the roof. It's not going to go down. So what type of plan A is that? So plan B, that's there to hold it. That's your safety net till your business takes off. So your business is volatile because it can go up 50% overnight, 100%. It can go down by 50, but it doesn't matter. If it's going down by 50 because it's already went up by 100. If you didn't go up, there's no place to go down. So you love volatility. You want that volatility. If it's volatile, that means you can push it up really fast, really fast. Remember, Efra's income went from, I don't know what it was, to 40 grand in 1 month. It's like, that's insane. That's, I mean, you can't do that in the job, right? You can't do that in the job. Your job, you're lucky you get 2.5% raise. Inflation is at 9, 8, and these are just basic inflation. A full overall, if you can't count everything, energy and food, it's at 20, 25% a year. So the income roadmap needs to become a really, really, really important part of your MO. Every single day you get up, the box should be ready. And whether it's your day to work or not, every day it's a reminder on your kitchen table that tomorrow is work day. And tomorrow comes, boom, you're on it. Small dial, appointment, good. Dial, appointment, good. End of the week, 3 out, 1 converted, good week. It's only an hour and a half, maybe 3 hours of PR time, prospecting time. In a week, that's a travel downtown and back. So we need to take away the emotions. And what I love about forensic, it does that. It becomes a mathematical game. It's a math game. Convert to 3 tours, convert 1. Knock out 3 tours, convert 1. $1,200 you pass at the end of the week, a month, great, nice week. It's not even so much about the money, because now you have a story to tell, and that story will convert more and more LAs, right? Month 2, 1,245, month 3, 1,700, month 4, it become astronomical, like 17 grand. So that's your plan A, because your job doesn't do that. Your job has no tricks like that. Jobs have no tricks like that. The job has only one direction to go, down. Why? Because inflation is higher than your raise. That's why. Your job is a depreciating, I don't want to call it asset, it's a depreciating part of your life. It's called an asset. Your business is appreciating. Every single person that joins your business, that's what you got to be in this call. Metcalfe law says, whatever they bring in, multiply that by itself, which means to the power of 2. I look at our reports. We have partners that sell $3,000 to $4,000 a month. In some months, much more, of just products. Forget about what they recruit and forget about what they consume. Well, how much is that according to Metcalfe law? How do you get them to that level? You engage with them. When you launch them, you have a business planning session very next day. Danny and I worked on some cool stuff, and it's going to come to a point that's going to become a culture, because everybody needs to go through that. And I'm adamant, because I figure next 5 to 10 years, MLM, much like other industries, will choose its winners and losers. MLM will choose that. And I want to get us, I know we're right now in the forefront because of our infrastructure. If we can get our workforce to adopt the infrastructure and become like clockwork, doing what they're supposed to do, we're going to make a lot of millionaires. We're going to clear a lot of 5-figure income earners and a lot of 6-figure income earners. We're going to have stores bobbing all over the industry, all over the world. We have a shot. So I'm revamping this the training system to make sure every new person that launches here every single day, they have a new path to success. That's going to get them much, much faster than you guys did. Much faster. Because a very clear path, which of course everyone else can adopt and get on as well. We're not going to have anyone in this business who's not trained. They're all going to get trained. And you know why they know they have to get trained? Because the culture is, when you get in, you get trained. You don't have to tell people that Friday is mosque day. You don't have to tell people that Sunday is church day. You don't, they know. So we need that type of commitment into the business that affects their life and the children's life and the next children and next generation, next generation, next generation. God wants the people to be rich, not poor. God wants the people to be rich. And that's what MLM does, allows people to do that. So I've been like this for 30 some odd years. I mean, when I was on upline, I was a top upline. I was a top upline. I built 4 multi-million-dollar businesses that way. That's how I did it. People came into my camp, they knew it was a serious camp. It's a pro field. This is not a high school field. This is a pro field. Whatever company you came from, that was kindergarten. You're coming into my team, this is a professional field. And put them in a framework to success. And I want every single one of you to be successful. I want every single one of you to tell me next week on all your first generations on all the calls. And I want you to tell me that you knocked 3 tours out of the park and converted 1 into a home run. Just like a whole bunch of people are doing. We had a good month. We had a really good month this month. Really good month. I mean, it was like we expect things to do this, and it's like this, boom, right? Which is great. You know what's not so great? If you did not participate in that volatility. You need to participate in it. We're going to drag you into it. We want you to be wealthy. We want you to change. We want you to become a better version of yourself, to en route to become the best version of yourself. And you know what? To be a multi-level millionaire, you're good enough. The best version of you is good enough. Doesn't have to be somebody else. You don't need to become somebody else. You need to become the best version of you, because human beings have what it takes to do some basic things right and consistently to become an MLM millionaire or a multi-millionaire. Somebody says, I don't need the money. Good, give it away. Let's go. Let's go. There's a lot of starving children would love to have that money. We do it. I do it. I've done it for 30 years. I do it every second month. We send money out to everybody. No excuses. You're here for a reason. You're here because you had some targets. Parents, kids, neighbors, aunts, children, charity, whatever that was. We got a plan to get you there, and it's called Pathway. In Pathway to 5 figures. And the first part of that, within the pathway, there's a fast track to 5 figures. 3-1, 3-1. Then you can take all that money, decide whether you want to use all of it, save all of it, give away all of it, split it up. That's a good decision. That would be a fun decision. While you're driving in the brand new car, which I'm paying for, to the car club. While you're taking all the bonuses and GRS that's over and above your paycheck, which I'm paying for, you can give that to charity too. Let's get you a pen that says Presidential Royal Director. Let's finish up with that thought. I'm guessing, but if you're presidential or royal, your check is about, I have to think about this, but I'd say it would have to be about 30 grand a week, 40 a week, 40,000 a week, 30,000 a week, in that area. Let's have a moment of silence on that. I want you to envision this. Close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to envision that you're wearing a pin called Presidential Lifestyle Director. Or even better, you're wearing a pin that says Royal Lifestyle Director. Now I want you to imagine your check that week. You log into your back office, you open the app, and you see another 30 grand just got deposited. 30 grand just got deposited. Now you haven't even spent the money from previous weeks, but another 30 grand just got deposited this week. How does that feel? More money to them to know what to do with. How does that feel? You're going to get a bigger house? Guess what? Why then you have a big house? Yeah, you can add to your car collection, watch collection. Yeah, luxury travel, first class, private jet, which by the way, I'm paying for as per presidential. Yeah, tens of thousands of people look at you. You're an icon. You're an icon. You are a celebrity. You retire the parents, send them some resort. The kids choose a school that you want. You can choose to retire, but it's too much fun. Too much fun. There's too many people that are crushing it in your team. because you're the presidential. The world in the palm of your hands. In the palm of your hand. The world is in the palm of your hand. Do whatever you want. And the path to get there is through this framework called Pathway to 5 Figures. I just shared that with you tonight, and last week, and the week before, and the week before, and the week before. And it's not like we don't have multimillionaires already. So when I tell you, be on the calls and care for your people to be on the calls, without them being on the calls, you're not going to get there. Is it hard to get people on the call? No, it's not. It all comes down with what culture you have in your team. What's the culture in your team? And your culture is not determined by what you say once. The culture is determined what you accept. If you accept for them not to be on the calls, that's the culture. So you have to not accept people doing the wrong things the way you wouldn't accept it from your children. You want to talk about the framework, 3-1, 3-1. Did you do 3 tours? Why not? Did you say you wanted to retire your parents? Okay. All right, guys, look, opportunity is there. Let's get everybody QT. I want all of you guys to become a qualified trainer. So that means you have to become a host first. Like this young man's doing right now. He's doing his host right now. How long have you been in the business now?
2017.
Good job.
Now, yeah.
This is a new program, so you're all over it. Congratulations for that. QP next. What's a QP? Qualified presenter, right?
Qualified presenter.
You just have to do the tour. Then you become a QT, 7 different courses. Now you're a qualified trainer. Wow, what an awesome leader. If I was in someone's team, I want them to be a QT because I know you're qualified to guide me. They're qualified to guide my people. The company's done the work. It's all there for you. Everything's ready. You just have to say, you know, I'm going to do this right. I want to be a pro, not an amateur. Some basic. Jim Rohn says, half a dozen things make 80% of the difference. Some basic things that we must do and respect. All right. With that, I think I saw Sanat's woman came on, and maybe, you know, she's been crushing it all across Caribbean, and I know how tough it is travel from country to country to country, meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. We've done this for 30 years. And I think I saw her earlier on. Sanat, do you want to say a few words? Maybe she got off the phone. All right. With that, I'll pass the call back to you. I know it's a tough call, team. It's a tough call because I care. My life is good. I'm in a mansion. Why do I talk like that? Because I want you to be in a mansion. Because we have the opportunity to do that. We have the opportunity to do that. And I want to give you all my experience. I want to see you at the top. Back to you.
Awesome, amazing. Thank you very much, Ramin. This has been a wonderful call. Very inspiring as usual. And yeah, we are certainly very glad to have you, very blessed to have you as our CEO and founder. Yes, I definitely imagine the big houses, the big cars, and being able to do things that you won't be able to do otherwise. So, yep, I'm sure everybody has their view and their goal as well. So I encourage you to put in practice and to bring that dream to reality. So, all right, without further ado, I'm going to jump in the in the announcement, because we have a global tour going on and everybody should be on the hill to join. Okay, so a quick announcement about the global tour. We have the Caribbean conference going on, and the Saint Lucia conference is going to boost and start July 28th. And you should already get your early bird ticket and the real ticket, $70 to $80. And our SVP, Sana's woman, is going to be there. And she's going to inspire and help us improve. So everybody, especially people in St. Lucia and those who can make the trip, should get on the plane right now and get ready. The whole leadership crew is going to be there. Venetia is going to be there. Arthur, Bona, and Veronica. So the big leaders of the company is going to be there. So it's a big event you shouldn't miss. National skill and development, and you're going to be blessed with skills and inspiration. Okay, followed by the London event. The London event is going to kick off July 30th, and the early bird tickets, 200 Canadian dollar, and it's free for the guests, so you can bring your guests along, as much guests that you can. Our wonderful youngest millionaire, René Lior, LD4, is going to lead us to a wonderful conference in London, followed by Stella. She is a very persistent, great leader in the London market, and followed by Lucy and Asia. So you should get your ticket, get ready to fly to London and enjoy and learn from those big events. Okay, another huge one, the Opulence Global Products and Innovation Conference is going to be a huge event that's going to present one more time the beauty, the efficiency, all the quality, the benefits that we get from the products that we use every day, why every Opulence Global partner look great and look younger and is healthy and know how to, protect himself, and how to market the products that he's been using himself. So if you want more detail on the product, you want to touch products you've never seen before, is the time to jump into it. Our CEO, of course, is going to be there alongside our SVP, and Daniela as well, who the sales development is going to be there. Davido as well is going to be there. So get your tickets, early birds, $249, and the real ticket, $299. This is, lower than the value that you're going to get. So you should be jumping on this ticket. The event is starting September 23rd to September 24th. So you definitely have time to get ready, and you should be ready to jump on this huge event. Okay, the cruise. The big cruise coming in April 2023. So something huge to look forward for every business partner that are having reached the Lifestyle Director 2 should be racing to that rank right now. And that's the rank to qualify for this cruise. And this cruise is going to be not in one city, but in two big cities, Miami, Florida, and Cozumel, Mexico. So two big culture that we're going to be able to enjoy, and everybody should be racing to get the qualification. If you already qualify, just get ready to join and jump into the cruise. The big promotion is a huge promotion in India that enable every business partner to have a buy one, get one free package. So you can enroll 2 people for the price of 1, and that's huge. And you can help the many people in India to get involved with Opulence Global and to actually have the benefits of the product, the services, and the residual income as well. So get onto the Indian market right now. It's very hot, and you should definitely take advantage of this promotion. It won't last for too long. It's expire in July 31st. So keep going and keep taking advantage of it. So that's pretty much it. We surely do have some upcoming event call, of course, the Saturday call. I think I'm moving too much my mouse here, so I'm skipping. Okay, we have the Saturday call that I wanted to show you, and we're going to have a wonderful host for the Saturday. Okay, there we go. Yes, so sometimes new technology get us going too fast, so you can keep up with the speed, but that's okay. Efra, I mean, for those who don't know Efra, she's a big leader with Opulence Global. She's one of the fast track explosion, and she is going to lead us for the Saturday training. And I can't wait to be in there because we're all going to learn from her energy, for her spirit, from her technique and strategy as well, and how to learn to be prepared, to plan, to get organized, to launch an Opulence Global business, and to know the necessary step and strategy to take your business forward. So here you have it, and you should join Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, the leadership call is Sunday, as we all know. Sunday, the leadership call is going to take place with Efra as a host as well. And she's going to host one of her sisters, Sada Hassan. And the leadership call is designed to inspire us to share the life experience and how people in real life have been able to go through their ups and downs and been able to improve their life and be able to improve their business along the way, and be able to help others achieve their goal in the team. So that's will be a very important call. So ladies and gentlemen, you should be able to join, and you must join to be able to be inspired and learn from those experiences and share with other people. So thank you for joining us today. It's been another excellent call. I had the pleasure to be your host, and I would like our CEO and founder, Ms. Galou, to say some few words before I close the call.
Follow up to everybody that was not on this call, that's only first generation, and ask why. Ask them what the targets are, why they got in, and how they plan to achieve it if they don't get trained. Next week, over 100 lines. Let's go.
Yes, we can do it, of course.
We still have it. We still have like way more than that. So we're going to get back there.
Yes. Okay, here you have it.
Stay forensic, guys.
Yes. There we go. Good night. Stay forensic.
Good night.